So let's go ahead and get into some of this gear. Again, having certain gear is not going to make you a better deer hunter necessarily, but I do feel that, having gear that you're comfortable with and feel confident with is going to make you, again, have that better mindset of knowing that you can, achieve certain things or, perform certain tasks while you're in the hunting woods. So, or again, if nothing else, it's going to make you more comfortable in the woods to make you, paying attention more. If you're cold, if you're wet, you're going to be distracted. You're not going to be paying attention as much, and you're going to kind of not have the the focus that you need to be able to accomplish your goal of being out there hunting and making sure that you're not missing any deer movement. So let's get into this first gear here. So the very first thing, again, the very first thing I'm going to talk about here is my bow setup. Now, again, individual bows is not going to necessarily mean that you're going to kill that big buck, or having the latest and greatest bow isn't going to make it to where, you're going to be more successful necessarily. The big thing is with a bow is that is one that you are, confident at shooting with and that you're accurate able to shoot. So it's a good fit for you. So this year I made a change to the Prime Revex 2. This is a bow that, I kind of was hoping for, that was going to be, kind of their lineup. So yeah, I was really excited about their Prime inline last year, understanding that a lot of times when a bow manufacturer makes a big change, is that a lot of times that technology or some of the stuff is not really refined. They come out with a brand new technology. They've certainly done all their testing and whatnot, but there's always like that year or two, and they make some improvements. So that's what I was waiting for with this Revex, and they didn't disappoint in that regard. So the big thing with the Revex is, again, they went with that single cam design, that inline cam design that's designed to be able to pull those cables into the closer to the center point or in line with the arrow, and then that's to basically help, they're designed to eliminate or minimize any cam lean when you make your drawback. The other big thing that I was impressed with, or that really got me excited, was their modular cam system. So back in the day, a lot of the bow manufacturers had these modular cams where you had to have a specific mod for your draw length. In recent years, a lot of the bow manufacturers have went with a adjustable draw length, where you can just like a little, just with a couple of set screws, you can adjust that draw length. Made it very easy to be able to make, real quick adjustments to your draw length. I'm sure a lot of the bow manufacturers appreciate it, where they could just, take out a couple of bolts, slide the little whatever adjustment, and then bolt it back down again, and you could, fine tune the adjustment. Downfall is, especially with someone in my instance where I have a shorter draw length, is that as you shorten that length of that draw, you're losing part of that cam, or the movement of the cam, basically losing some of that power and essentially speed too of the bow itself. So basically making the bow less efficient, therefore making it not as not set up as if you had the using the full length of the cam essentially. And then some of the other features that they had with this bow is that they have a Prime Pacific Hamskea Epsilon res that's designed to match with their burger holes, or to mount the bow or mount the rest on the bow, so that the most of the rest is actually in line with the riser itself, again helping with some of that balance. And then they also partnered with Tight Spot to create a specific specific quiver for them, that again the mounting bracket is in line with the riser, and then that allows you to have that quiver much tighter to the bow itself, helping with that balance as well. So the one downfall, or a couple of things with that too, that we realized, is that when we got it, it looked like everything was backwards. They don't make like a left and right quiver. You basically unbolt the brackets, and then you can flip that quiver around, whether you're a right-handed or left-handed shooter. So the one thing too, I thought I would like the idea of having a 5-arrow quiver. Now, in years past, in my previous bow, I had a 3-arrow quiver, and it did take a little bit of adjustment for me to have all these arrows on here, because I actually shoot with the quiver on the bow, so I have my quiver on at all times. So it's a little bit of adjustment having those additional arrows on there, a little bit additional weight. But certainly too something that it's just how I shoot, or how I like to shoot with the quiver on. I can't do it without it, but I prefer to have it on. This is the bow of my choice. Now, again, the other thing that, or I guess the last caveat or the last icing on the cake for me is that this is with Prime being out of Michigan, it is a Michigan bow. So, that's one thing I appreciate, is being able to buy something in state or manufactured here in the state of Michigan as well. So I've been excited with the bow. I'm really impressed with it. Again, a lot of the other features, their little, specialty grip. Again, we haven't hit those cold temperatures yet, so I haven't really got the chance to see exactly how well this grip performs in regards to cold temperatures, but looking forward to it, essentially. I guess since I'm talking about the bow as well, I might as well talk about my arrow setup. Now, again, you can go kind of crazy when it comes to arrow setups, talking about arrows, broadhead types. So if you've listened to the show before, you kind of know my stance on it. Making sure that it's just the right arrow for you and your bow and what you want out of it. So this year, again, I'm shooting the gold tip airstrikes. This is a batch of arrows that I had from last year. Basically, is a small diameter, so it's not a micro diameter arrow. Very lightweight, so it is designed more for longer range shooting, and basically a high FOC. So it comes with an aluminum insert and aluminum collar on both the point end and the nock end as well. Basically helping protect the ends of that arrow a little bit. So this year I'm utilizing the new VPA Omega broadhead. Again, this is their new broadhead for the year. It's a patent pending lay flat technology, where for the single bevel, you don't need any special jig or anything like that to sharpen it. You just lay it flat on a stone. It has a little groove on it that helps guide to make sure you got the angle right. Again, high carbon steel for the construction, so nice and durable and maintains a good edge. And for the back end, I've got a nocturnal lighted nock. I always like to shoot lighted nocks, even when I practice, primarily to be able to have the exact same nock that I'm going to hunt with, as well as so in the hunting situation, having that lighted nock, especially in that low light situation, you can try to pinpoint a little bit easier on exactly where the arrow went, especially if you get a pass through where you can see the spot where that nock finally disappears, to be able to pinpoint point of impact a little bit better. For the other part, I run heat vane, so I run a 4-fletch with a pretty aggressive offset. I added on a white wrap as well as 2 white fletchings to be able to help determine, again, a little bit better on, if I do get pass through or if I get blood on this end of the arrow, to be able to identify what type of blood it is, for better, judgment on when to do a track job, or, if it's something that, to be able to determine if it's liver blood or lung blood or something like that, help make those determinations. Thanks for watching this segment from the MI Hunting Podcast. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you share the show with your friends. If you do want to see more, you can tune into the full episode right here on the podcast playlist. And if you're on the go, you can always listen to the podcast on any of your favorite podcast platforms. And I hope to see you on the next one.